showing you guys what my template is, and for a lot of people it's probably too much, and then for me it's still probably not enough. Still not enough. Well, the template is more for me, it's just like a Swiss Army knife. It's not a super power drill. So like everything I do is not based on being the best mixer or the best recorder or the best microphone. It's, the jack of all trades type thing. And I'm just trying to get, new people that come in here to sound really decent. Stop! It's my alarm. As fast as I can, because most of the time it's only 1 hour session. It's $80 for the hour. And they, I want them to at least have something nice, And sometimes they're doing 2 songs, but not that much. But they do sometimes 3 songs, like 2 hours. So, But anyway, so like there could be a couple people, it could be all kinds of stuff, and they're freestyling. So I just got this template, but there's like really no effects, but I got a template. So this is what it is. So up top, I just have a MIDI track where I have just a piano. I can use the piano, right? And that's just so I can find the keys of the song. So if you know the keys is C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C sharp, D, or what's, whatever. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Depends, right? Just should try to know a little bit about keys, will help you a little bit better. So then that's when I know that, I'll put that in this auto key here, which is, I got 2 instrumental tracks where I call them that because one is what I really use and the second one is just there, and so I don't have to open up something in case I need to put like a sound clip from YouTube or something that they want there, or some gunshots, or if they, did the song already, then I could put the demo version up here and then the beat down here, and I can go back and forth, but I'll have 2 for that reason. But I only need 1 and then 2 for in case I need to slap something up there, like a demo or some YouTube clip of some guy getting, talking about drugs and how he loved his life doing drugs and selling drugs, whatever. You put it up there. Right, like so. And then after that, I just kind of keep them 3 up here, and there's like, I got this folder thing going on. I'm thinking like most programs are the same. I'm pretty sure they got folders too, but you don't need folders. But I just got these folder things going on for I can tuck stuff away if I don't want it to look too messy, right? But anyways, I'm gonna go back. And got the keyboard, the 2 stereo tracks, 1 for the instrumentals, right? And then we got, but what I want to explain here is on the instrument, on the MIDI track, I have that being sent out to just the main speakers, not going through any buses or any mixed buses or anything, just straight to the output, so that when I press my keys, I'm not getting delays from latency because it's going through processing through a plugin, and it makes it late. Like if I put a plugin on here, I'm not trying to go, see, I got ADHD, I don't want to go too far, but important thing is that's why. You ask me why are you going straight to the speaker? Because I don't want no latency when I press the keys. Then I got my 2 instrumental tracks that go to, this one should be going to mix A too, but they go to mix A because I have down here mix A, B, C, and D. And what these are they go in this little folder I got right here. See this blue mix folder. And I have mix A is where, if you got right here in bus inputs, I got mix A, mix B, mix C, mix D too. But you can rename them anything you want by pressing rename. but I have basically 4 group channels or 4 extra input channels where I like to group up all the vocals on one, which is mix B, and then I like to put the instrumentals on mix A, even if it's broke down to drums and other stuff up here. All the instrumentals should come to mix A, then vocals to mix B, and then I want to be able to throw my throws on mix C and my sends on mix D. And then all 4 of these will be all sent out to submix, what I call it, which is right here. The mix bus is submix, and then in here I can make sure it doesn't peak and get the mastering chain going on in here, or use mainly, like I've been using, what is the God particle? I put the God particle at where I can put God particle on everything, or sometimes I just like to use the God particle on just vocals and move it up there. But using 2 God particles is insane. It's possible, but it's really insane and hard on the computer, and it's gonna lag. I mean, mine, I can get away with it, but it might crash after like 40 minutes or something, and just give a random crash. But yeah, or I got the MBT right here. So, or if you got some type of outboard, like you want to put in your mastering chain, put that in there. And then I just been using this Ozone, because like I said, I just got 1 hour. So I just do AI, and I just pick trap, and I just press start assistant, and and then once you press start assistant, it just tells you play it, and then it'll get it all the way there. I mean, I think it's a little too loud for some reason, so then I might come back on my mastering chain, and I do, but most of the time I do or don't, and I just pull out this fat filter, and whatever sounds too loud, I just sweep that out real quick, whatever sound that is. Like, it's like mastering, but it might be too edgy, so I'm gonna come over here and just like pull it down some, clean it up. It's rarely ever boomy, but it's usually around here. But depending, if it was, I would pull down here, I kind of leave that chain alone. I mean, you can mess with it, but it's about how much time you got. Just 1,000 buttons there. But yeah, just, or they want to book another session, come back and mess with buttons, fine. But we got an hour. We're not going to be messing with those buttons, okay? I don't care. So yeah, I got the MIDI, the instrumentals go to mix A, or the first one of the 4 mix buses. And then I got this little vocal section here because I'm just doing instrumentals and vocals. And then this yellow one here is just is an audio track, and that audio track gets sent out to its group channel or group channel, right? Or bus, group or bus, whatever you want to call it. So if I have somebody's gonna be like punching in, I have like the record right here, the record track, of course, and a separate thing. And the record track comes from the tube tag, and it says tube tag, but you can rename it anything, because if I wanted to, I could instead name it the Neve, or if I wanted to rename it just something I can remember, or if I wanted to rename it the TLM 49, it's all the same. It's just what I'm naming it, Actually, TLM 49 looks nice, right? Looks better. Should leave it there. And then, right, and then that's it. So you don't need no inputs on them, because you're just gonna record, right? Yeah, record. Everyone should know this. Record, and then just drag up, right? And actually, too, when I'm recording, I just record, and then when I'm gonna keep, I highlight, and then I press this button, and then I just drag it up. Record. Boom. This piece, then drag it up. We're down. Really down, because like I would record, and then drag one up, record again, drag one down, record again, drag one up, record again, drag one down. And then these, since I don't want to, I kind of like to, but depending on the, like I'm saying, I'm rushing. I got these just sent to this bus, so if I want to just throw a compressor on, I'll usually pick like lately I've been going to the 1176s again. I just like the way they leave the transients kind of intact, because I'm horrible with transients. And I've been using this gray one, silver one, just anyone's fine, you know, whatever, however you want to do it. And then that's it. And then like those vocals will go through that. And then once I use the compressor really fast to get like just some rough like volume leveling going on with their vocals, at least it's like hovering over the beat, whatever it is. It's hovering over the beat. Like with the attack, I go fast most of the time. Sometimes, I don't know, most of the time I go fast. It doesn't really matter. You can go anywhere you really want to start. It's fine. And then can do the fast release or whatever. But I feel like the faster you go with the release, the more like distorted it sounds. And then the less release you go, the more back to like less compressed and less distorted that it sounds. So you can kind of smooth it out, or you can go kind of crunchy with it. So crunchy, smooth. And the attack, the same thing. Like it's the crunchy on the attack, or is like, we're kind of like even smooth. I even say it, that having the attack fast will kind of make it smooth. You don't really hear it that it's attacking, versus when you pull it back, it lets, like I already know, the front go through, so you kind of hear the pumping, or you can feel it. So I would say like feel. You can feel the compression, and over here, no feeling the compression. Yeah, great. I'm gonna go with that. Don't feel the compression, feel the compression. So, yep. And then this one, crunchy, smooth. That's it. So do you want to feel some crunchy? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to, what did I say this one was? I forgot, man. But it's on tape. So check it out. Anyways, you know, something like that. But anyways, this is a template. So them two go into there, and then this final like mix bus for the vocals, so that I can just fix them two, will go into the second bucket, mix B. Where if I need to like maybe like just trim off some you know, just kind of trim off some of the top end, you know, with a limiter or something, or gold clipper, you know, whatever. Or just, actually, I use them mostly just to analyze the whole section. So I got it like basically spectrum analyzers on each group, so I can see what the group is doing on a frequency levels. And I barely use like, oh, and I got the SSL. That's the key, is that I'm using these four as like making it into my analog, my you know my analog sound. So I mean, maybe like, I think I like the SSL sound because from the years of me growing up and the songs that I like, and then when I see the tutorial videos today, or see any videos of them making the song or mixing the song down, they're mixing it down on the SSL. And especially the compressor in the SSL, it's got this type of like a tight like sound to it. It sounds just like that. And that's just a good enough like peak and RMS ratio. This just sounds, you know, like you hear the hit, but it's not ringing too much, and it's just got a more of a knock. And EQ's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not very good with the EQ though, but it does seem really cool. Yeah. And then anyways, so I got those four buckets, like I said, each one's got an SSL channel on it so that it can sound like I'm actually sending my stuff out to like a SSL board. And then, cause like in the real studios, like, you know, in the big studios, they got all the outboard gear in the back, and then it kind of runs into the front mixer at the end of the day. So that's why, like, this is like my back wall. Like, these group channels are my back wall of the CFX. So like there would be that would be in the back wall. What else they be having out there? Like a LA-76, where is that? Like a, or even like a Tube Tech, you know? Bam, that's the back wall. You see what I'm saying? With a, say, where's the knee at? See? Bam. So bam, you got like a, you know, let's say you got some vocals running through that. Boom, boom, boom. And then they come out to mix B, which is the SSL board. And then the SSL board going out into the mix bus, which is my MBT, at least something, you know, something. So yeah, basically, you know, like that. And then that would make more sense, like logically. And then if you want, you put the auto tunes on the tracks. And if you want, you could use some, like, you know, wave plugins or something on the original tracks, you know. And then they go to these group buckets, but with the buckets, you know, use like real life equipment on those, you know, can mix with other stuff, but you know, that's kind of my theory or the basic ground. And then do stuff like this. And then I also like to do my throws. Throws are easier from, we're not really supposed to be getting into that, but oh, okay, yeah, because I need the throws, because the throws are right here. See the throws? And the throws go into mix D, which would be like another SSL. So it would be my throws, you know, all grouped up. Or my sends, which are down here. Sends. So I would have whatever. But for my reverbs, I think I like to use Reverb Plate. It's been my new one lately. I think that it's gonna be my best plate so far. I can't replace it. I've tried to replace it. It's not really being able to be replaced. Everything sucks. For my room reverbs, I love this for just that smooth R&B sounding feel room for me. Seventh Heaven is a new one I've been grabbing it because since they came out with a light version, it's not as expensive, so it's cheaper. And so far, this West Church is the big one I've been searching for. It sounds pretty good. Still doesn't seem like the exact one I've been searching for my whole life, but getting closer. And then also, oh, these Echo Boys, I've been trying to use them. I feel like I like the way the these, I like the way it sounds, but I'm not using it right. I mean, but I like to use this one, not the age delay for because this is like my send, so I'm trying to like find a certain delay that sounds like, you know, reverby more, not delay, more reverby delay, like that, because it's gonna be constantly running. It's not a throw where I'm just gonna say hey just a few times. That's different. So I might be wrong because there's analog echo processor, so I'm trying to go with like an analog. I've been liking and been noticing that for a real rich person echo, like was that Universal Audio, oh my god, The tape one, man, it's nice too. I think they even got a cheap one on Pro Tools even. I remember, I just noticed that, or was that the chorus? My glasses are in the car. Oh, EP34? Yeah, this thing. This thing is some rich delay right here. I need to be having, matter of fact, this is the one. I might as well have two of these things. If not, I probably should be using two of these. I think this Echo Boy might be changing to two. Ooh, man, that's super rich, right? Two? I just said one. I said it would be rich. But I should start trying to use these two. But I'm trying to just develop a flavor that you know, people come here and they're like, oh, where'd you go to Tito's? Because the way this is the way the workflow, it's not the templates, the workflow, you know, and stuff like that. Not that I use these two. I don't use these two. I have the real thing. I from the real thing to that, yeah. It does kind of sound like that, which is weird. It does, like, that's why I bought the real stuff, because I was using that. I'm like, man, I like the way it sounds, but I hear like lots of air, like, so noisy. And I know, because I have an Avalon, that real equipment ain't that noisy like that. It's just because in the computer, it's weird. So I bought the real stuff and there's no noise, but it's the same sound you get from that, but more like 4K instead of like not 4K, but like that. But yeah, I wouldn't use that. But that's the pretty much the mine going. And then all these sends, you know, or I could throw a chorus on here. If I would use a chorus, I don't know. I haven't found a chorus I'm in love with. Haven't. Or like a flanger. I like to use air flanger. I haven't tried this air multi-core. I think I have. But I do kind of like, for chorus, I don't know. Maybe this metal flanger might be a good chorus for me one day. I haven't tried that. I just got this mono mod. I don't know what that is. Because I just updated my Waves plugins to another thing. But this one, this Brigade chorus, one's pretty nice. I think this Pro Tools got one too. That's what I'm saying. I think Pro Tools be having some of the same things. Yeah, see, it's their version. This one's probably good. I should probably try that. And then, yeah, or whatever. Oh, see, I have one over here already. See? The UAD version. And then you got the Avid version. Right? Right. So yeah, them sends go into, you know, mix C or C, and then the throws go into mix D. And throws are, you know, I got some throws here. Yeah, I've been also with the throws, I want them going through the mixers too, because if you read up on the SSL or watch some videos on SSL, you know, there's, I think, probably 48 channels, or maybe not, or 24, I don't know. But anyways, you know, they got the center, and then there's the left and the right, and then on the, pretty much basically on the left are like instruments and sounds, voices and stuff, and on the right, they like to have their effects lined up. The reverbs and delays and stuff makes it kind of easy. Like, so like drums, bass, voices, guitars, whatever, synths, reverb, delays, chorus, whatever, like that. So kind of same thing. So I knew that they would have their delays going back into the board too. So I'm kind of trying to give each machine throw I got coming back into the SSL board and giving it SSL sound. You know, I'm trying to get a warm, clean sound here, more analog. Even though sometimes when I turn off all the analog, stuff, and I just hear the digital version, like clean, crispy, clean, clear, like transparent. I'm like, ooh, that sounds good too. But I'm gonna stick with the analog sound because I know for sure not everybody's has my chances of anyone sounding like they did work here. Not that it's better or not better, but try it. There's no way you're gonna know that you came to this studio. Somebody's gonna know you were at Tito's because it just has a sound. No matter what the mix is like, it just has a sound. Yeah, so that's it. And these kind of look like these SSLs are different than them. See, I got a UAD version here. Didn't even notice that. And then I got a SSL version of other ones. I gotta dig deeper into which one of these the sounds I actually like the best. And usually I do that by like pushing like some tones through them, like some sine waves, and just pushing them really hard till they turn red and hear how they distort. And that gives me an idea of what the fingerprint of that machine sounds like. And if I like that, because even though it's not going to distort, that 0.0001 millionth of that distortion will always be there. So I'm like, that's what gives it its fingerprint. But yeah, I'm getting really tired. I'm trying to stay up. I need to stay up till 2. So then, yeah, one more time. These throws go. Those are the throws, and they go into like mix D, I said, and then which are number 4, and then these sends go into mix C, and then the music instrumental goes to mix A, and vocals go into mix B. But before the vocals go into mix B, like if they're punching, they'll go into one group where I can go ahead and do what I do to both of them at the same time, just using one plugin. And if there's a second voice, or if I just want to do some ad-libs, or if I want to do chorus or anything that I just feel like any group of vocals that I think need a different sound, I'll do that. And if I need another one, then I'll duplicate that and then come here and move it to somewhere empty. Look, it says instrument 2, but it doesn't matter. I can always rename it and be like, Rob. If that's who's going there or not. I don't know. And then that's that. And then that'll go back to mix B. And then I can always check how they're doing, if they're lining up with the frequencies all in one spot, and check how loud they are, if they're following what LUFS they're at, if I need to. It's not that I'm always looking at meters, it's just that maybe I'm using my ear and I'm like, oh, I can't figure it out, and I just need a different perspective. So I'll come over here and look at the LUFS, or look at the frequency, or look at the pass frequency, and see where things are lining up like so. And plus, it also gets to filter through the board that way. But it's not like I'm really going to use this that much. There's times I do. Might pull down here, pull up here, who knows, anywhere. But I might, who knows. But basically, I really try not to use that. And then, then it goes to the mastering chain right here. These 4 dump into 4 buckets fold into 1. And then right here, I'll, like I said, I think we talked about this, do the mastering with the Ozone. Then I can also see how loud, if the LUFS are reaching -9. I go to -9 on my LUFS. I did -6 for a while. I've tried never no less than -9, maybe -10 I've tried, but -9, and yeah, -6 okay. I guess really, well, seems like the more sub that's in the song, the more LUFS you're gonna get. Right. Then anyways, so yeah, and then that goes to the mix bus, and then this mix bus I got sends because I'm sending everything from the mix bus back out to separate sources to be monitored. Like this one says Pioneer because I sent it to let me see, maybe it's an IO outputs. Yeah, see, these are the outputs. So I got a universal audio. So this is the back of the audio, the universal audio, and the 7 outputs that are back there. On channel 1 and 2, I'm sending it out to my speakers, which are the CLAs, and then on Q1 is the headphones for the booth, right? Which is this volume button there. And Q2 is the second volume button there. That's my headphones out here. And then to the MBT, which is that, sending out to that. And then to the Pioneer, which is, I got right here, the stereo Pioneer Dolby Atmos system with speakers up there in case I want to hear how the song sounds in surround sound, and like hear my reverbs going back there and my background vocals, or my left and center, my right speaker, my Dolby Atmos speakers up top. If there's a lot of time and I'm really digging the song and it's like a, you know, and it's that kind of song. Other than that, you don't have to do that. Then this is to OBS for like what I'm doing now, so that when I play the music, it goes through a PreSonus separate audio interface, and then that interface comes back into the computer through the USB, which goes to OBS to record from Pro Tools. And then this says Avalon because since my Avalon, I sent it to get repaired in some place in California, which I thought were really good people, and then they sent it back broken even more than what I got it for. And if you go to Avalon website, and there's 2 places, there's one in California and there's one they recommend you send it to. They recommended me to send it to California. I sent it to that place. It's on that site right there on the main Avalon site. So it's legit, supposed to be legit. And they sent it back to me broken even more. And they stole my tubes, which is even really crazy because every time I bought the tubes, 4 tubes from Sweetwater, and they come perfect in these boxes. And I sent them back. When they sent me these 4 tubes, they look like they're 2 of them from 1954, from when the aliens crashed UFOs. And there was another one from like 1979. And then there was like another one from like 1986. I promise you. Blew my mind. Now when I press the EQ button, now it's all distortion. Destroyed my, I don't even know if this is my same Avalon. It's probably a different one. I didn't even check the serial number. So anyways, just horrible. Just horrible. I hope one day something good can come of that. So, but I used the Avalon for the VU meter then. Since you can't listen to it, but the VU meter works. So I use that to check like volume. Since I don't have like all 24 VU meters across the whole thing, I can just like switch things and check the volume on the meter. And because that's honestly the best way to check the volume, by 1,000 times. There's no better way. I don't care. There is absolutely no better way to check the volume than on one of the VU meter, by far. It's true, the true volume. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's like how your ears operate, exactly the way that VU meter operates. And then yeah, so that's why. So that's what this is. So that was the I/O. So look, I send the Pioneer OBS, and I got volumes. See, I got volumes for that. And then OBS, I send -27 because I don't know why it's so loud. And then, and I got a bounce track. So with this mix bus, I'm also sending it to a bounce track, because when I go to bounce mix, it goes mix source, and then you can, pick the output where either like, usually it's set here to physical output, like the speakers, and you play it through. But sometimes I accidentally like move the main volume like down because I didn't want to hear it so loud, and then I bounce the song down, and then the song is low, and they call me, they're like, dude, the song's low, why you turn it down? Like, oh man, I gotta rebounce, I gotta put this back on 0 and then rebounce it out. Or look at, there's effects up here, maybe I was using that because for some reason to do something, and then I left that on, and then so instead of going through them problems, I just sent it to a dedicated bounce track And you don't even need a track. I just send it to this output, which is, where is that? It's a bus, I think. Yeah, bounce. Look, it's just a bus. I just send it there, and it doesn't go anywhere but to here, and then to export. So that way, when I export it, I click bounce, and then no matter if I move any of these volume knobs for my speakers, it won't affect what's going to the bounce. Yeah, and then that's it. That's my template. Oh, and my throws, I throw like quarter delays, like whoa, 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 or faster, whoa, 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 or even faster, whoa, 16, or like a space, or like another whoa, like that, and that's the template.